A picture-perfect house in pristine New Canaan, Connecticut, turned into a grisly crime scene on May 24th. Police say they found Jennifer Dulos' blood in the garage, but no sign of the mom of 5, engulfed in a bitter divorce and custody battle with her estranged husband, Fotis.
Jennifer Dulos' phone connects to her SUV through Bluetooth. The problem is simple and terrifying. Jennifer Dulos had been missing for over 7 hours by that point. No calls, no messages, no sightings. Yet her phone was physically close enough to her car for the vehicle's computer to recognize it, log it, and timestamp it. Investigators would later realize this single digital entry destroyed every innocent explanation offered in the case. Because if Jennifer wasn't there, someone else was, and the technology saw them. Her name was Jennifer Farber Dulos, a mother of 5, loved fiercely by her children, admired by friends for her warmth and grit. Before her disappearance, she was navigating a bitter divorce and custody battle with her husband, Fotis Dulos. But that didn't define her. To her children, she was the voice that read them bedtime stories. To her closest circle, she was a planner, a thinker, someone who checked her calendar, made lists, and cared deeply for the details in her life. On the morning of May 24th, 2019, Jennifer did what she did every school day. She kissed her children goodbye and drove them to school. Mounted surveillance cameras recorded her Suburban departing the house around 7:58 a.m. and returning minutes later once the kids were on board. But on that Friday, something different happened. When she returned home at roughly 8:05 a.m., she walked back inside, and the world would not see her again.
It was an eerie flashlit scene as police searched Jennifer Farber Dulos' multi-million-dollar home, captured on police body cam.
It's like a pattern here.
New Canaan, Connecticut police spotting alarming evidence near an SUV in her garage.
I observed what appeared to be a footprint.
By the evening of May 24th, Jennifer's nanny, someone who had helped raise the children and was entrusted with their care, called police to report something was wrong. Her appointments in New York had been missed. She hadn't answered calls. At 7 p.m., police in New Canaan stepped into the Dulos home. Body cam footage from officers searching the garage exactly that night shows them discovering what appeared to be blood-like substances on the floor, on the grille of the parked Range Rover, and even on bins inside. Search crews dragged woods with K9 units. Helicopters combed fields. They scoured lakes and ditches for her body and found nothing. Several false starts and theories flared. Claims that she ran off, that she'd staged her disappearance, but no credible sighting ever materialized. Yet the truth remained encoded in the data. Timestamps, GPS pings, vehicle Bluetooth logs, and surveillance footage that mapped her last known movements. This case didn't crack because someone confessed. It cracked because machines can't lie. They can only recall. The infotainment system in a vehicle records every Bluetooth pairing, every timestamp, every coordinate. And when investigators extracted that data from both Jennifer's Suburban and her estranged husband's vehicles, they found something unsettling. Her phone connected to her own SUV at 2:56 p.m., hours after she was last seen, implying the device was near the vehicle. That phone pairing doesn't lie, but it raises questions about who else might have carried the phone and where. This was the piece that shifted the investigation from hope to cold reality, and the assembled digital evidence would go on to define every major development in the case. Investigators pulled surveillance camera feeds from houses around Wells Lane. Cameras captured Jennifer's SUV leaving and never returning. They mapped the route with exact timestamps. They extracted call logs and signal data from vehicle computers. A forensic expert testified that infotainment GPS and Bluetooth logs revealed patterns that corroborated security camera footage and phone records. From this digital web, a vehicle, later identified with connections to Fotis, was logged dropping off trash bags in Hartford, bags that later contained blood-stained items including clothing believed to belong to Jennifer. Call logs showed phones connecting at precisely timed intervals and attempts to weave alibis that didn't match the physical evidence. A Bluetooth pairing placed a phone near Jennifer's SUV, not just once, but during a time when she could not have been alive under the established timeline. Digital forensics didn't guess. It reconstructed. Security videos, GPS fragments, phone logs, all stitched together like a forensic quilt, consistently told the same narrative. Someone else was with that phone. Someone else was moving vehicles. Someone else had access. This was no disappearance. This was a murder executed and obscured by people close to her, and the digital record was the only impartial witness. By the time the trial of Michelle Troconis commenced, digital evidence was at the forefront, not as a supporting character, but the prosecution's backbone. Surveillance footage, Bluetooth logs, call details, survivor timelines, all were used to paint a narrative resistant to speculation. Fotis Dulos, charged with murder and associated crimes, died by suicide in January 2020 while facing the case. He never saw justice served in court. However, prosecutors continued to pursue those charged with conspiracy and evidence tampering. Jennifer Dulos was declared legally dead in late 2023, a grim but procedural acknowledgement of the truth the investigation had long pointed to. This isn't a story with a neatly wrapped conclusion, because her body has never been found. But justice isn't only in verdicts, it's in truth. And digital forensics told the truth, not with emotion, but with precision. In the end, the real victim here was not a case file. It was a mother whose last laugh, last conversation, last breath are known only to the machine logs that outlived her. And those logs, the digital ghosts, will never stop uttering her final timeline.